President Akufo-Addo has given firm directive to his ministers to adhere to prudent fiscal discipline ahead of the election year. This came to light after the just-ended 64th regular cabinet meeting and 7th retreat by the government. Addressing the media at Peduase Lodge, Minister of Information Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah highlighted the Akufo-Addo-led government's commitment to complying with the Fiscal Responsibility Act, which prohibits any government from incurring a deficit beyond 5% of GDP. He also stressed on the need to increase revenue mobilization in line with government Ghana Beyond Aid agenda.
Our budget deficit, for example, which accounts for the year-on-year gap between our revenues and expenditure, has also closed significantly in these first 3 years. In 2016, for example, it used to be somewhere around 9.3%. It's now been reduced to about 4.7% this year. And in 2020, with the legal commitment that has already been established, the expectation is that we would not exceed that 5% fiscal threshold. Mr. President has been resolute in his marching orders to the finance team to ensure that this is observed to the letter. The Fiscal Responsibility Act, which is the new anchor of discipline for the government of Ghana, prohibits any administration from incurring a deficit beyond 5% of GDP unless with the prior approval of Parliament, without which the minister will face a vote of censure by Parliament. President Akufo-Addo has been particular in mentioning that election year pressures should not and will not cause the Treasury to throw away the fiscal discipline that has been restored and achieved so far. The need to meet revenue projections is therefore critical in ensuring that our desires as a nation are met.
Mr. Oppong-Nkrumah also touted the achievement of the government in transforming the economy. He was optimistic that the NPP government will end the year on a high note.
The foundation of the economy has been restored to a strong status. Notable among some of the key achievables are the fact that, for example, inflation, which measures the rate at which prices of goods and services increase, was about 15.3 when President Akufo-Addo took over. Through a combination of prudent policies in the real sector, prudent fiscal, prudent monetary policies, inflation has now dropped to about 7.5%. Now, the President has instructed during these meetings that the various agencies that have been working to achieve this have to keep inflation on the downward path so that Ghanaians continue to benefit from the relatively lower rate of price increase. Cabinet also noted that, for example, growth in the economy, which had slowed down to about 3.4% as at the end of 2016, has, through various interventions, especially in the area of agriculture, such as the planting for food and jobs, planting for export and rural development, rearing for food and jobs, grown and is expected to remain above 6% by the end of 2019.